Hello everyone, so has Christmas derailed my weight loss journey? Well, I've just had a beautiful bacon sandwich with brown sauce. And if you don't know what brown sauce is, I'll stick a picture there. And I've got a fantastic cup of coffee, and we're going to talk about has Christmas derailed my weight loss journey. We're going to do the Q&As, we're also going to do the weekly update, and I think we'll mix it up today and start off with the weekly update. Just want to put you in the picture of how Christmas was for me, how it felt for me, and the differences in previous years. So I'm Mounjaro, and I've lost 76 pounds now, just over 6 months taking Mounjaro. I'm currently on a 5mg dose, and I take that every single week, normally on a Sunday. There's been a few ups, a few downs, and a few bumps in the road, it's fair to say. But this is my first Christmas whilst I've been on this journey. And I'll be honest with you, I was a little bit concerned. I was a little bit worried about what was going to happen and how it was going to feel for me. Now, before we get stuck into any of this, just want to point out, I'm not a medical professional. I'll never be a medical professional. Everything I share with you is me sharing what I've learned on my journey and the stuff I'm learning as I go. Because even after 6.5 months, I am still learning. So all I want to do is share this information with you. So if you're on the same journey, you can pick bits out of it, you can learn as you go as well, and we'll all share information, and that's what it's about. So just to make this 100% clear, not a medical professional, not a medical professional, not a medical professional, only sharing what I've learned, not giving advice to you. So this Christmas Day was always going to be different than it was in previous years because of the Mounjaro. Now, I'd set myself a goal that I wasn't going to allow it to change my day too much. And rightly or wrongly, I decided just to listen to the appetite cues and kind of going with it, no rules as well. I wasn't going to restrict myself unless I felt I needed to, or unless I felt the Mounjaro was going to make me restrict myself. And being 100% honest, that's exactly what happened. I put a picture of last year's roast on my last video, and I'll see if I can find it and I'll pop it on the screen there. And this year, it was totally different. I still thoroughly enjoyed everything I ate on Christmas Day, but I ate it in moderation. I took a photo of my roast dinner this year, but it's an awful photo. I took it from the wrong angle, but I'll put it on the screen. But it's a little bit more artsy and doesn't really show what I had, so I do apologise for that. But I was living in the moment and I wasn't really thinking about the content. But that's what it looked like this year. So I had to listen to the appetite cues. When I felt full, I was full, and I didn't finish my Christmas dinner this year. I did have a dessert. I had Christmas pudding and clotted cream, and then in the evening I had some cold meat and some bits of pickles and that kind of stuff. But I don't feel like I went overboard like I would on previous years, because on previous years it was an open go just to constantly feel fat and full and over full for the entire day, for the entire duration of Christmas. And this year it's not happened. Generally on Boxing Day we go to family friends and they lay on a buffet. And exactly the same happened this year, but I don't feel like I went overboard. I don't feel like at any point I was fed up with eating, if that makes sense, because previously I would be just feeling, you just feel ill, you just feel sick all the time because you've eaten too much, and it's really not happened this year. And that is all down to the Mounjaro, and maybe a tiny little bit of self-control as well, realising that I don't want to mess up my journey by overeating at this time of the year. Not that I do think it would mess it up, because I think if I've taken my foot off the gas a little bit, it really isn't the end of the world. And I think, looking at the comments on my last video, a lot of people were saying they're going to do very similar. They're not going to calorie count, they're not going to worry too much, and if there's pieces to be picked up, then we'll pick them up in the new year. So although I said I let myself ease off a bit over the Christmas period, it didn't feel like the old me, and that was really important. It didn't feel like I was being greedy for the sake of it, and that automatic reach for more, eat more wasn't there. So I really do take that as a massive win. What really did surprise me was how sort of uneventful it felt. It didn't feel like a huge treat. It didn't feel like it had to be perfect, and there's certainly no euphoria around it. It was me sitting down with the family, eating a meal, and that's a massive mindset change for me, because in previous years it would have been eat for the sake of eating, eat for the sake of eating, and that didn't happen. So I'm happy with that. Now, as for my weight, now this is going to sound like an absolute cop-out, but my scales are broken, or the battery's gone and I haven't got a battery, but I have got a backup pair of scales. So I weighed this morning and I was £5 up. Yeah, so I will leave a pause there for you all to gasp. I'm not worried by that, not worried in the slightest. I anticipated I was going to put on weight over Christmas. I've put on weight over Christmas, and let's be real, I've not really put on £5, have I? It's more than likely water weight. It's not going to be £5 of fat, and I know once I get back into the swing of things or get stricter with myself as we head into the new year, that £5 will be gone, because it's not real weight, or it's not what I call real weight. So for me, yeah, £5. I went out Christmas Eve, wonderful Christmas Day, went out Boxing Day. Yeah, I'm cool with that. I know that once I get strict, it'll drop off in no time. And we'll go forward and we'll head towards goal in the new year. Right, before we get stuck into the Q&A, just wanted to say thanks to the latest people who joined the inner circle, and they are Stephanie Butler and Jeannie Partlow. Memberships are just another way to support the channel, and it really is much appreciated. So if you want to join the channel, click on join. It does cost a small fee, but it's, like I said, it's just a different way to support the channel, and there's no pressure whatsoever from anyone ever to do that. If you enjoy my videos, please like and please subscribe to the channel. And if you've got any comments for next week's Q&A, leave them down below in the comments. I do try and answer every comment unless it's one of those negative comments, and we do try and avoid those ones. But yeah, like and subscribe, hype, put your notifications on, and it's all very much appreciated. Right, now we're going to get on with the Q&A. We'll start with the questions, and I will do my best to answer them. Bearing in mind, as always, I am not a medical professional. So the first question this week is from Corinne PC2MQ. Hello, me again. I have a question, please. Has anyone noticed muscle aches as the weight drops off? I've always exercised, so I haven't put it down to that. Just wondered if it's a weight loss related issue, or maybe it's just my age. I've not noticed any of that at all, and I've never seen a comment saying anything similar along those lines. If you're working out, I'd imagine it's probably something to do with that. I know I certainly ache when I go to the gym, and you kind of get used to it, don't you? It's and it's almost like a nice ache. But if anyone's experienced this, where they're generally just getting muscle aches from taking the medication, then it would be really good to leave it down below so that Corinne can get an answer for that. Right, so the next question it's from Corinne again. So it's Corinne PC2MQ. And has anyone suffered with dry eyes with Mounjaro, and if so, how have they handled it? I've not experienced this myself, but did a little bit of research for you, and it seems like it all comes down to dehydration. So, I mean, you said you're a little bit paranoid about side effects. I think we all are anyway. I think it's part and parcel of the journey that we're on. Have a look at your hydration, see how you're getting on. If not, I would suggest going to your pharmacy and getting some eye drops. Again, I'm not a medical professional. So the next question is from a member, and that's Stephanie Butler 5310. Love your channel, and she's asking, what do you track daily and weekly to assess your progress? Now, I feel like I messed up a little bit on this, because when I started, I didn't take many what we're going to call before photos, and I wish I had. I didn't take any measurements, and I wish I had. Maybe I went into it trying to dismiss that the old me ever existed. I don't know, who knows? But I don't take measurements. I don't track anything apart from the numbers on the scales. What I do is I weigh every day, and I know it's not a great habit to get into, but it's just what I do, and that allows me to adjust my calories as and when I see fit. And the other thing I do, Stephanie, is I track my calories weekly rather than daily, because I feel that that's a better method for me, rather than say I'm allowed 1800 calories a day. I'll do it weekly, and as long as I'm within that limit at the end of the week, then I'm more than happy. But I do wish I'd taken more photos, tracked more measurements, and done all that kind of stuff. So if you are starting on your journey, that would be my tip, and you'll really notice a difference even more so than I do, because I've got a couple of before photos, and then obviously that is it. But it's a good question, and if I was turning the clock back, I would probably do things differently. So we've got a question from Scott F 2199, and it's a question about maintenance. And it says, in theory, if you keep your calorie deficit on maintenance, you should, within a pound or so, remain the same weight. This is theory, no idea about reality. Losing weight is all about calorie deficit, isn't it? So once you reach goal, you want to adjust your calories so that you're within that range where you're not losing weight, you're not putting on weight, you're maintaining weight. So for me, that makes perfect sense, and it's 100% spot on. The method I'm going to use for maintenance, a few people disagreed, a few people agreed. But that's the method I'm going to use, and that is to carry on taking Mounjaro and spreading the dose out. If I'm putting on weight, I'll need to lower my calories. If I'm still losing weight, I'll need to higher my calories. It's going to take a little while to make that adjustment, find out exactly where I should be calorie-wise, and then hopefully when I've got to get to go first anyway, but then hopefully when I get to go, we'll smash maintenance. But I mean, it makes perfect sense to me, Scott, but thanks for your question. Right, so this is a question from my Mounjaro journey. Now, I think this chap's changed his channel name now to XXL to large. But it's saying, after reading you can lose 10 to 20% muscle mass via the diet unless you do strength training, I'm expecting to start weak and lift light. This was last week. Today I noticed I'm lifting my old training weights almost with ease. Did you find there were any issues with your strength while doing Mounjaro when you started the gym? I started the gym before I started Mounjaro, so I've been going to the gym, I'm going to say consistent, but at times it's inconsistent, for probably 18 months now. I feel like I was a lot stronger before I started Mounjaro, and I'm talking massively stronger. And I've tried to be fairly strict with myself. I've tried to be consistent with the gym. And like I said, it doesn't always work that way. But I am nowhere near as strong as I was when I was 22 stone and 11 pounds, when I was a lot heavier than I am now. So yeah, 100% for me, I am nowhere near as strong as I was before. And that's going to be one of my big goals as I move into next year, is to start getting stronger again. And I mean, your experience of it, I mean, I know you do go to the gym a lot because I see your videos and I see your shorts, and you're always in the gym. So it could be that you're a lot more consistent than me and you work out a lot better than me. It's quite well documented that I don't like the cold mornings. I don't like it when it's wet, because I always try and train before work, and I struggle to get there when the weather's been like it's been in the UK recently. But you're doing fantastic, so keep up the good work. Right, so that's all the questions for this week. I will be back on Wednesday with another video. I want to thank you all for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll put some links to some of my other videos on the screen right now. And there's plenty of stuff out there. If you are starting your Mounjaro journey, there's loads of information on my channel, and hopefully you'll find it really useful. And like I said, I'll see you all on Wednesday, and enjoy the rest of your Christmas holiday period festivities. But thanks for watching.